Hi everybody, my name is Alex and I'm going to be leading you through budgets for beginners. Basically what we're going to be doing is creating a very simple budget, hopefully in no more than 5 or 10 minutes. Don't want to run this on too long. This is more of a visual aid to accompany the written portion as well. Personally, I do much better when I can see and do rather than just read, so I thought that this would help everybody out. What we're going to be doing is creating a very simple budget, like I said, that is going to show you where your money is going in a very general sense. Of course, once you get going, there is a myriad of things that you can actually do with this, and I'll be showing you a fairly in-depth one at the very end, just as a little example of what you can get going. What you need for this is basically a home computer with Excel. All you have to do to get started is go ahead and go down to New. When you right click on your mouse and Microsoft Excel worksheet, we're going to go ahead and rename it to budget and get going. First thing that we're going to want to do is type in our monthly income. So up here in box 1A, we're going to put in income, and we're going to say that our family has a $4,500 a month income. The next thing we're going to do is enter in our categories that we're going to be looking at. The first one is bills. Next to that, we're going to have our budget, and then we're going to have our actual money spent. Now you can dress these up as you will, maybe fill them in, get a little bit bold just to make it stand out. The other thing that you can do is open up the columns by, if you select the top left right here in the corner, and then you can drag your columns. It'll give you a good size for each of them, and it'll auto adjust each. Underneath bills, we're going to have 6 categories. Our first is going to be mortgage. Directly below that, we're going to have our car, so insurance, maintenance, gas, things like that. We're going to have house expenditures, and we're going to have food, children, and the always popular credit card debt. Directly below that, just as a step now, we're going to put subtotal. We're going to leave that alone, but we will come back to it in a little bit. So, our budget for our mortgage is going to be $1,600 a month. For our car is going to be $750. For the house, let's say $800 a month. We're going to be spending $450 on food. Kids aren't doing too much activities these days, so we're going to say the kids cost about $300 a month in additional, and we're going to have $100 worth of credit card debt that we're paying off. Now, what you're going to want to do is, besides subtotal in column B, highlight the box, go up to the very top here, click auto sum, and then go ahead and click enter. Now what that's going to do is going to show you what the total is for what your budget is for the month. Currently it's $4,000. Now we're going to take last month's bills and we're going to see what we actually spent on all these items to give us an idea of what we're actually spending, in opposed to just the budget. So for the mortgage, it is a standard fixed rate, so we're going to go ahead and say $1,600 again. Now for the car, we didn't go up to the cottage one weekend, so we saved a little bit of money on gas there. So let's say we saved about $100. Then for the house, we were home a little bit extra, and it is the summer, it's been pretty hot, so we used a little bit more air conditioning. So we're going to say $900. Food, we did have people over for a barbecue, so there's a little extra. The kids are going back to school, so that actually is a little bit pricey as well, so we're going to say about $500. For the credit card, we've actually paid it off this month, so we're good. We have $0 for that. You're going to want to repeat this step to get your total here. Click in box 12C, click the auto sum button, and again press enter, and that's going to show us how much we actually spent. Now to get a total, go down here, throw in a total in there, and what we're going to want to do is, this is where your formulas come into play. So you're going to want to hit auto sum. It's going to want to select here, but you just don't have to worry about that. Just go ahead and click on your total income for the month, enter into the box, apply the minus symbol, and then go ahead and click on what your subtotal is for what you've actually spent last month. Once you've done that, just hit the enter key. It gives you a grand total of $350 in savings out of your $4,500 monthly income. each month, according to this, you should be saving around $350. Now, of course, some of these might not apply to you. Let's say maybe you don't have kids. What you can do is you can take row 9, go ahead and delete it, and you'll notice that your totals have been adjusted accordingly because this was all part of a formula. You didn't have to change the numbers, you didn't have to re-add it or anything like that. It's automatic. So now your grand total is $850 a month that can be applied to savings, retirement, any kind of other outstanding debt that you would have. So what this does, as a very basic example, is show you what you're spending your money on, and maybe an idea of where you can save. Can you turn down the air conditioning? Can you maybe get people to bring a potluck to a barbecue rather than paying for everything yourself? Things like that. Now, of course, getting more in depth with it, you can do amazing things with Excel. There are online lessons, there are tutorials in Excel themselves. If you go to the help function in Microsoft Excel help, and you can read about it. And just as an example of what you can do, this is an example of an old budget that I had, and if you take a look, it is much more in depth, but at the same time it breaks things down to be very specific and very easy to read. Once you start to look at it, you can see exactly where your money is going, how much of it, even the percentages up here. So again, this is just an example. Once you get going, you can just fill in anytime you add a number in here. So let's say you pay $100 for your garbage pickup. It automatically totals what you'll be spending and adjusts the monthly return as well. So again, it's something that you can do very easily. The budget that we did took no more than a couple of minutes, and it gives you an example of what this family would have been saving last month. For yourself, gather up those bills from the last couple of months, give yourself an average for it, what you think you should be paying, and then go ahead and break it down, and you can see what you're actually spending. This is going to conclude the actual visual portion. Hopefully it has served as a good aid for you to follow along with the written portion as well, and hopefully you can take care of a budget yourself and be well on your way to financial stability. Thanks very much.